I used relevance.ai, and it's a tool that we're going to go through. This is the chat interface for relevance, and I'll walk you through it a little bit later. It's a tool that we're using in Hive, our company, more and more to try to create AI agents and a whole bunch of other stuff. So I put this prompt. They have a slide deck presentation agent that can create presentation. So I said slide builder, need to create a presentation. Here's kind of the different components of the slide. Here's who's going to be speaking. It actually went through, created each of the different parts of the slide. So it created a draft of the slide. And then I looked at it and I said, let me update the presentation design based on a screenshot of Hive Research. So if you don't know, Hive Research is where you can steal all this classwork. If you miss all the classes, all the information is in this AI lab section of Hive Research. So all I did is I took a screenshot of the website and I uploaded it into the presentation so it could kind of steal the colors, fonts, and design layout. And it updated the slide. So it pulled down the colors, looked at the font style to see if it was something that was similar. For many of you, that's a pain, especially if you have team members that are trying to create a presentation and they don't know what the design guides and styles are. My recommendation is that you actually have an agency build a design guide and style. But if you don't have that, all I did was I just took a screenshot of the website and I put it in here and it extracted out all the different design elements from that. And just as a test, I forgot that I needed to show you guys kind of the hardware from last class. I said that I was going to go through the Pixel Fold. So I did an edit on that presentation. It updated it, made a little bit more edits. And then I'm going to show you the walkthrough of the full slide deck that was generated, right? So again, maybe I'm the only procrastinator in class, but I did this about 10 minutes before doing this. And part of the reason for doing that is you want to be able to figure out, can you do things more efficiently and more productively? Could I make it fine-tuned? Could it be much better? I'm sure it could. And I'm just going to show you the layout and design that was generated. And you should be able to see it on the screen now. So I'm just going to walk through. Remember, I didn't do anything other than spend about, I don't know, 2 minutes total creating this presentation. So let's see how it did. So it took some of the colors from the website, it took a little bit of the logo that we had actually created from the website and put it in there. Nice animation, broke it out into different slides. Let's see. So it did a comparison, no images. It didn't generate any images whenever it created the presentation. A little bit of an icon there. It seems pretty basic. It's clean design, but nothing really outstanding. So I think it's okay. I don't think it's probably the best tool that we've used in class in the past to build a presentation, but I think it did a pretty good job for 120 seconds of work. So take that for whatever you think. All right, so we'll kick it off. So I want to start with this extra piece of metal that I've had in my pocket for the last month. So last month we went through comparing all of the Google ecosystem. The month prior we compared all of the Microsoft ecosystem. And if you don't know, Apple announced near the end of last year that they're pretty much giving up on building a large language model to integrate. They're going to use Gemini to power Apple Intelligence. And so a lot of that stuff is being rolled out. I think they had a pretty terrible launch of AI, and they've tried now almost 2 years in a row, and they've had a pretty mediocre result. If you guys have used the Apple iPhone, the only cheat code that I've figured out so far is instead of asking Siri, you just say ask GPT and it'll go directly to GPT rather than that extra step in the process. So that's what we've done. But I wanted to try the Apple or the Google Pixel Fold 10, which just came out. at the end of last year to see, is it actually worth it? And do all the new AI features that are built in it, is it that dramatically better? And the verdict is not really. It's okay. This is obscenely expensive. I mean, it does look cool. I mean, I'm sure everybody's like, oh wow, my productivity is going to skyscrape because I've got three displays. But I also did the ultimate test, which is giving the phone. Maybe this is a dangerous test. Giving the phone to my 7-year-old and 11-year-old to actually study how they use the device, because kids are really good at like exploring, figuring things out, trying all the buttons, seeing if they can break it and figure it out. And my 7-year-old preferred the iPhone over the Pixel Fold. What does that actually tell you? Not really much, but just as a user interface, I know Samsung and Xiaomi has had their Fold features for a little bit. It was kind of a pain to hold in your hand to look at stuff. To some level, productivity was a little bit better because you could put like your email on one side. You could look at the link that you click on the other side. The big application that I was looking forward to was Comet. If you don't know, I'm obsessed with Comet browser because of its agentic ability to kind of control everything on your browser. Um, Next month, we're going to talk about Cloud Code and I should say Claude Code and Claude Cowork, which has been absolutely incredible. So I'll talk about that next month. But really, the only types of features that it uses is whenever you are holding down the Gemini button, it can actually look at what is on your screen. So if I say, Gemini, I need help to figure out how to use my application Comet. Show me how to do that. So the good thing is it is,
Fast.
I'm going to pause the audio. The good thing is it is very responsive. It is really good at communicating very natural language back and forth. So unlike Siri, you got to kind of click it. It doesn't really have a bidirectional communication. Gemini is already enabled so you can actually have a conversation with the device. So it's a pretty good tool from that perspective. And it can analyze, like I said, what's on the screen to kind of give you help. But really, where I think all these devices are going is very similar to Comet. You ask it, hey, I need help to send a message on Microsoft Teams to Ben about we had an infrastructure issue. And then if you could go there and show me how to do that, I think that's where it's going to go. So not only are you going to have a conversation with just the AI model, but you're going to be able to actually have the device be controlled and be able to actually go step by step through the process from that standpoint. So I think that is a really exciting opportunity of where these devices are going to go. But the reality is it's not there. And I think it's got a long way to go from that standpoint. So I would save your whatever 2,000 something dollars. Now, I also did a comparison for the Pixel Watch. Previously, I had the Apple Watch before, and I've used it for years. I kind of gave up on it a while ago, but I mean, it's good if you're focused on like health and tracking and certain types of things like that. But I think it's more important to kind of understand why people want to use the Pixel Watch. Well, the big key again, if you raise it, you can have a full bidirectional conversation with Gemini. So again, instead of having to click the Siri experience where it's kind of like a one-step type interaction, you can actually carry a conversation with your Pixel Watch. I did pay, well, actually, it came for free 2 years of their cellular plan. So right now, it is available that if you want to get the device. They're at least they were last month giving 2 years of free service with the actual Pixel Watch. The big thing again, like if you're trying to do more, I actually asked really complex questions and conversational data, and it was perfectly fine. So it's a full Gemini 3 experience. And I thought that was very valuable from that standpoint. But honestly, out of the 30 days of having the device and having it every day and carrying two phones in my pocket every day, I think in the last week and a half, I started giving up on the Pixel. And I was like, do I really need this? I was like, and you kind of go through that debate every time. And I think I'm probably going to stick with the iPhone. Part of it is ask yourself the question, do you really need to have a lot more screen real estate when you're on the phone? And it's just too small, too big. I mean, it's not big enough to have a full desktop experience. I thought it might replace my iPad, but the iPad is still so much better because it has just enough screen real estate to actually do something better than a phone. It's almost like having two side-by-side cell phones that you're interacting with. Really what I was hoping was the AI integration would really somehow boost my productivity, and it hasn't. I'm hoping that, these frontier model wars between Gemini and ChatGPT and Anthropic Claude are going to continue to improve these tools. So I will keep you guys in the loop. Honestly, I'm not very impressed. I don't think you should drop 2,000 something dollars on the Pixel 10 Fold, but I think what I'm noticing is more and more hardware is being AI enabled. So as I can, I will make sure to I am a gadget guy, so, I'm not too stressed out about buying more gadgets to try out, but I'll buy all those different devices, see how they work, and see if there's any actual productivity. And I know this is more business oriented, but, even on personal productivity, is there actually any major value that you're gonna gain? Right now, I really don't think that there is. So if you're stuck in one ecosystem, unfortunately, you're gonna probably have to continue to I've been trying to get out of Apple ecosystem for, like, a decade. I've been very unsuccessful at doing that, and even having this device and using it every single day and carrying it with me, I really don't see that much, value yet. So, knock on wood, maybe it'll be transformative in the near term future, but it's not really there.